my good people. This is Glenn Glasper, affectionately known as Mr. Dollar Out of a Dime, and this is the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show where we talk about real life real estate situations, but we bring you real life real estate solutions. And today we're going to be talking about some great stuff. As always, of course, I'm biased. I like the things that we talk about and the way we get to share information and help people do what they do. Before we get into it, I want to tell you to do me a favor. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you watching us live, go ahead and put a live in the comment or one in the comments. Let us know that you're watching live. Or if you're watching it on the replay, go ahead and put replay or put the number 2. And before I introduce my guest, we'll be right back after these messages, and I'll see you real soon. All right, folks, listen, thanks again for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. Again, do me a favor, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe if you're watching us live. And if you're watching us on the replay, it does us great for you to be able to share this information with other people that would benefit from knowing what we want to share with them. All right, our guest today is none other than Lashawn Nicole. Lashawn Nicole, I was reading through this and I just remembered that Lashawn Nicole is my homegirl from the D. So we're going to be definitely talking about that. We'll definitely be talking about that. What up, though? For y'all that understand what that means. Lashawn is actually from Detroit. She's, of course, residing here in Atlanta. She is a real estate investor. She does some other different things to generate streams of income. She definitely is generational wealth minded, somebody that I definitely want to have you learn from and have and for us to have a conversation with. She is the owner of L. Nicole Real Estate Ltd., along with some other things that I don't want to steal her thunder, so I'll let her explain those things to you. And without further ado, we're going to bring her on in. Lashawn, what's happening? Why? What I didn't tell them is that I had to call your people and their people to get you to come on the show.
Well, first of all, I want to just thank you for even allowing me to have this opportunity to speak my mind. I'm very shy, so this is my first one-on-one podcast. This is like the launch, the first premiere.
Okay,
so I'm very nervous.
Listen, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will say a lot of people have had their debut appearances on the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show and going on to do some great things. So thank you for joining us. And thank you for allowing us to be your first.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I did some research. Of course, I'm going through your page and reviewing your previous podcast, and you've had tons of guests who spread tons of value. So I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity. Like, I'm honored to even be on this platform. So thank you for that. I'm really appreciative.
Well, thank you. And here's again, my man Ryan. What's up, Ryan? Ryan too today. He said she was a virgin.
Right.
So, I know what's coming next, Ryan. I'm gonna leave you to that. But listen, no, it is definitely an honor to have you. And I'll be honest with you. What we do on this show, what I do, and my team does, is we do research on people that are actually doing things in the real estate market, doing things in the real estate business. And they provide me with some extensive research. Like, they know some of the people that I know, and they know they don't know the people that I know. So you are actually one of the people that they didn't know that I knew. And they were like, we got to have her on because she's doing this, that, and the other. So I was like, okay, all right, I know her, so we definitely can have you on. So it is great to have you here, and thank you for taking time out of your day and letting me twist your arm to get on the show with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So do us a favor. Go ahead and tell the folks who you are, and then let's talk about some of the things you got going on, and then we'll get right into it.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again. Of course, thanks for having me again. So my name is Lashawn Nicole. I am a philanthropist. This is actually my 7-year anniversary this month. I'm going out to, I've been serving the community less
Give
fortunate.
it up. Give it up for that.
I appreciate that. So we've been serving the community even after this interview. I'm going to go and serve the community, pass out some clothes, toiletries, and food, and make sure that they feel the love. So I just want to make sure that they're infected with the love, and that's my whole intention of coming on this podcast today. My intention is to say something that can allow somebody to apply what I learned to their life so that they can make some money. I made money in real estate. I've made money, and it's been nice. So I don't mind sharing my it's not even a secret. I don't mind sharing the steps so that you can apply it in your endeavor. So
Definitely.
so I am a philanthropist. It's going on 7 years, and also I'm involved with government contracting. That's also I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I'm involved with government contracting, and I've been awarded several contracts. So that's another lane. But that introduced me to real estate. And in real estate, it's also introduced me to credit because, of course, we come across motivated sellers and they need, we're problem solvers. We create solutions. So if we have a seller that needs to get in a house and the only issue is that the credit is jacked up, we can offer a solution for that. So we can, provide some advice for them. So that's me in a nutshell. That's my entrepreneurial journey.
That is great stuff. That is great stuff. For one, listen, again, I want to applaud you for taking on, something as far as, being a philanthropist, because what most don't know in situations like that, and I don't necessarily, I can't say that I take on the title of philanthropist, because I'm not really out in the community doing things, but I'm always behind the scenes trying to help people do different things. But I certainly applaud you for doing that. And the way that you mentioned what you mentioned about sharing what you've learned and sharing what you do and helping people create streams of income, that's one of the ways that I consider myself as well, being a philanthropist of sorts and helping people.
Yeah.
And the thing that I got to understand is people, we all want to help people, right? We have this thing in our heart, a special place, not because we know. I mean, you from where I'm from, so we understand what it's like to get it out the mud, as they say nowadays, and to be able to share the information that we have now been able to be fortunate to have obtained. You want to make sure people can, I'll say, appreciate that,
Yeah.
right? Not from a grateful, that they're grateful for the information. Well, of course, we want them to be grateful, but we want them to appreciate it by applying it,
Yes.
right? So tell us, what are some of the things as a philanthropist that you do in the field? Like, for example, you said you're going out after this interview. What are some of the things that you do in the field to help people?
First and foremost, for me, I feel it's important that I empower them, let them know, like, you ain't forgot about, we all have missed a step.
Yes.
We have all missed a step. And just because you're out here, that doesn't mean that you're less than anybody. You have to, walk in who and whose you are. You have to be confident, and you just gotta walk differently. Don't wear what going through my experiences. I don't wear the things that I've gone through. And just because you're outside, you don't have to look like what you go through. So when I go outside passing out my gifts, I come across Gucci shoes, Louis Vuitton. Like I have valuable items, and I take them out there, and sometimes they cry. They tell me, like, I can't believe you actually like, you're spreading this stuff, like, you're giving this stuff to us. I can't believe it. Like, and that's what I yearn for. Like, just because you're down on your luck don't mean you are less than nobody. You're better than this. So just, I want them to feel that. So that's what I push when I go out. Make sure that, they are empowered. That's my whole motive. That's my whole intention, to empower them.
Real stuff, real stuff. You said something very, 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 took me back. My aunt told me when I was 12 years old, growing up in the hood, I was like, are we poor? I asked her, are we poor? She said, maybe you are, but maybe you're not. And she would always push me to clean up my room and clean up the house. And I'm like, well, I got to clean up the house all by myself. And she told me one thing that I'll never forget. And she said, just because you're poor doesn't mean that you have to look like you're poor.
Mm-hmm.
She said, nobody will know you're poor unless you tell them by
Mm-hmm.
the way that you look and the way that you act. I was like, wow. Now, taking that in at 12 years old was very impactful at the time, but I didn't realize at that time how valuable that would be for the rest of my life, because that's still how I operate today.
For sure.
I mean, not poor anymore, but thank God for that. But
Right, right. Things are
but you
changing.
could be poor in many ways other than just financially.
That's
Some
true.
people are poor in mindset.
That's true.
So that's one of the ways that what we do in terms of sharing the information that we do is trying to enrich them, as you mentioned, from a poor mindset to a more financially sustainable mindset, if that makes sense.
And then when we say the poor mindset, that's just a heavy title. Like when we talk, they wouldn't, someone who has a poor mindset, they wouldn't classify themselves as somebody who has a poor mindset. It's just a matter of believing that you can get these big checks. You can create this passive income. You can have generational wealth. You could do it, because just like we have to get out of that mindset or we have to really get out of being entertained or scrolling, like that thumb just keeps scrolling on social media. Here, like, it's time, and it's a time and a place for everything. We want to get 24 hours. That's what I'm a big advocate of. We get 24 hours, so we sleep 8 of them, so that's 16 hours left. If you work a job, that's another 8 hours. Then them other 8 hours, break it down. You have a whole hour, you can study something. You have another hour, like break the whole thing down. Be strategic. Like we're only here on this earth for an allotted time. Don't just be wasteful. Your life is not, it's not just a waste of time. We can really have what we want. We can really live out our dream. We can really have the goals that we want. We got to work for it. Ain't not gonna be given to us. We got to
Right.
work for it, especially us as adults, as individuals. We gotta go hard. We have to go heavy. We have to, and it's maintainable. It's attainable, but we have to believe that we can attain it. We got to study and educate ourselves.
True stuff. True stuff. Now, tell me about this. Now, we're going to get into some of the meat, but you mentioned being a serial entrepreneur. What is that? What does that mean? What does it mean to be a serial entrepreneur in your own words?
All right. So I'm gonna be transparent with you, because this is my opportunity just to be, not even to be vulnerable. I don't like that word. It's just so scary. But so here's the thing. I didn't have a choice. I had to be a serial entrepreneur, because I kept getting fired from my jobs. You just get tired of getting fired. My last job was the longest job that I ever had, and this was for 11 months. And then what was even right, for real, like my lifespan on a job was like 3 months, because then I would get into the robotic field. Like I would sell myself in the interview, and I would just talk how they need me to talk in the interview, and then they hire me, and then the 3-month probationary period, you got to be on your best behavior. So that's your representative. She could behave for 3 months. Then after that, I'm a whole robot. I'm going in the job. I'm trying to do whatever I can as quick as I can, so I can go take a break, so I can get on my phone, because so I kept getting fired. And then on top of that, I went through college, and I experienced life, and some things happened, and it affected my record. I got a felony on my record. But I went through the expungement process. I'm gonna make sure I say that. I went through the expungement process after I was, eligible, but it was out there in Cobb County. So I don't know if you know about Cobb County. Some things they don't really go through all the way. So I applied for the expungement. I got the lawyer and all of that. But anyway, I just got tired of being without a job or having a consistent income. And with my last job, I was working at Porsche, for Porsche Financial Services, and the next month was going to be my 12-month anniversary, and they were going to allow me to ride in the car around the track. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Porsche Financial Center, but in the back they have like the racetrack where you can drive around, but you can't drive around a car. The professionals have to drive. You have to be the passenger. And I'm like, why I gotta be a passenger? I want to drive. I want to drive the car. Like, let me drive the Porsche. I want to drive. And when you work there, you can't just say Porsche. You have to say it, how it's technically called. It's Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
I want to drive a Porsche. I want to drive a Porsche. And then I'm seeing all of these famous people come in and out the place, going in the back, just enjoying themselves while I'm just sitting in my cubicle answering these calls. It got underneath my skin. Like, I'm better than this. Those people, they aren't any better than me. Yes, they're talented and they're dope. I think they're dope people according to what they put out on the entertainment television or whatever. But they're no different than me. They're no different than me. So if they got all this money and they want to just come here on a Tuesday and drive this car, I need to be working differently. I need to do something differently because I wanna drive those cars.
Real stuff. Real
So
stuff.
that was my motivation. And then I got fired. I got fired from that job, and then that's when real estate kicked up gear for me. So I got fired before COVID. That was my last job. So about 4 or 5 years ago, and then COVID hit. So the November before COVID is when I started to really educate myself heavily. November before COVID, DJ Envy and Caesar from the radio station. Are you familiar with DJ Envy?
Yes, Breakfast Club. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, they had a seminar here in Atlanta. My birthday week.
DJ Envy is gonna be coming on the show, by the way.
Look at you.
We gonna put that out there.
You have me on this platform. You need to have a reunion. We need to all come together.
We're in talks with his people, and our people to see if we can get him on the show. So
that's amazing.
We're gonna manifest it. It's gonna happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's really good. I'm very proud for you. Like that's real cool. Yeah, so I went to his seminar, him and Caesar's seminar, and they were preaching how you want to fix your credit, fix and flip. I'm like, all right, cool. As soon as the seminar is over, I'm gonna go to the house and pull up my credit. I pulled up my credit, and it just wasn't cute. It wasn't spicy. Like it was like a 507, 5 low fives. Like it was terrible. So I'm like,
it
wasn't spicy at all. Hey, lovely, that's my girl.
Hey, listen, we believe it. We believe it.
So, yeah, and then what was I saying? I'm sorry. You got me distracted. That's my girl.
That's my girl, Cassie. You were saying how you looked at your credit and it wasn't spicy, and
yeah. So I looked at my credit, it wasn't spicy, and so a couple months went by, and at this time I didn't have a job, so I'm like getting on the edge, like something's going to happen. Although I still have some things popping off with my nonprofit. I have a relationship with the stadiums, and I allow people to work or whatever, and so that was still, but that's my nonprofit business. That wasn't my money. I don't touch that business. That's over there. But me, my money was dwindling down, so I'm getting pressured. Like I'm like, these deals got to come through. Talking about fixing and flipping, it's looking real hard. It's looking difficult. So then I enrolled heavily into YouTube University. Like I went heavily. Like I woke up, went to bed, YouTube, and I came across several individuals. This one fellow, I really liked his videos because it was straight to the point, like in and out, like 8 minutes long. I like those types. Like I don't really care to hear about the fluff or the cute stuff. I want to know how to make the money. That's it. And his videos were really, really cute, real in and out. And I learned how to, get my contracts, but I didn't really know how to market to the sellers. So I took on another class in YouTube University with another investor. In his course, he taught, this was in February, he had a free course for Black History Month. I'm like, oh, this is really dope. So I'm enrolled heavily every day on these calls, and he taught how to market. That's what's most important. It's really about 5 different ways how to, no fluff. It's really 5 different ways to market to sellers, because we want to reach out to them. We want to talk to them. We don't just want to have all of this good sauce and not know how to get it out.
Right.
So in my opinion, it's 5 real ways to market to sellers: calling, texting, door knocking, bandit signs, and pay-per-click or Facebook ads or whatever. Pay-per-click and bandit signs, those costs. I have a plug on bandit signs, just FYI, if anybody needs some bandit signs. But those costs, the calling, texting, and door knocking, those are close to free. Of course, you got to get some gas, and you got to pull a list, a real good list, Like, don't just what I learned. We're not wasting time. We're not out here to waste time.
Mm-hmm.
We're out here to converse with motivated sellers that want to sell. What I learned is 4 Ds. Everything got a number for real, but it's 4 Ds. The 4 Ds. This is what determines if we want to talk to somebody because we don't have time to waste. We want to get 24 hours, and these sellers, everybody's calling them. Like, choose who you want to talk to so that you're not wasting time. But the 4 Ds is death. So you find these houses, find the pain points according to these 4 Ds: death, disaster, so like a foreclosure, divorce, and detention, so like jail.
Mm.
If it's under one of them 4 categories, they got some pain points, so they have a reason to sue. If not, then you wasting your time. Like, you just texting just to be texting or calling just to be calling. I don't want to do that.
Wow. You said death, disaster.
Divorce, disaster is like pre foreclosures, tax delinquents, or whatever, stuff like that. Like, something bad has happened and they need to get it out.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. And it's I like how you broke that down. Like the simplicity of that, I believe in so many cases, people get away from, when we talk about fluff, a lot of the fluff is where people get lost, right?
Mhm.
Now, I'll be honest, some people they'll disregard some of the fluff, what people, they need to make sure they clear on what fluff is and what's not. As Cassiana said, get to the numbers. The numbers is what help you get paid, and
Mhm.
I respect that. And that's where a lot of times when people don't understand the difference between the fluff and what's real, that's where people get caught up and they miss the opportunity to really educate themselves, right?
Yes.
Cassiana says, don't get caught up in the hype,
Yes.
and a lot of times that's what a lot of it is, a lot of regurgitated information where somebody's heard somebody else say it and somebody heard somebody else say it, and now they're saying it in the way that they think it should be translated, which turns it into something else that really ain't got nothing to do with anything.
That's happy. Mhm.
So I like how you broke that down, the specifics of the 4 Ds, and the 5 ways to get in contact with sellers and those types of things, 5 ways to market sellers. That is specific information and the specifics of what people need to be paying attention to when getting into this business. So I definitely applaud you on that. You need to be having your own YouTube channel, your own YouTube university. um, so I want to go back a little bit. Now I remember we met. Oh man, I want to say about 6 years ago. What's this?
Probably longer than that.
Probably about 6 years ago. You probably don't remember when we first met, do you?
It was at a seminar, wasn't it?
Yes, yes, yes. It was a 5 links event.
5 links?
Yeah.
Because that's so network marketing, that's what opened up the doors for me. I saw people like
Absolutely.
me making money, not having to work a job. I said, oh, okay. But network marketing kept shutting down. I don't like that. I need some stability. And then I'm watching these videos on YouTube and everybody keeps preaching real estate. Real estate is longevity, real estate, government contracting. So I'm gonna do them both. How about that?
Real stuff, real stuff. And I gotta say, network marketing is what helped me open my mind to
Yep.
actually running my business like a business.
Yes.
Before I was just, I was flailing in the wind doing some real estate, making some money, but I had no real structure. So network marketing would help me make the structure. Um, but I definitely want to say, from the perspective of, like, I had that issue too. The longest job I had was 4 years, so I had the issue too. I believed I was becoming more and more unemployable over the years, right? Like mentally, it was challenging for me to be able to take what I call orders
Mhm.
from people who that I believed that were, and some of them I'll give them credit enough. They were so intelligent; they probably should have been in a higher position than they were in, but I saw them settling. And if I'm striving to get to the position that they're in and they're settling, then
Mm.
what would that make me?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yes.
man, then these are probably not the people that I want to follow because they're already settling for what they have. And if I get in the position that they're in, then I'm only limiting myself for the possibility of what I could be doing. So what I applaud you is you have the same type of mindset. We don't have the limiting belief of believing that this is all there is for me. As you mentioned, working at the Porsche place, Porsche, we always thought it was a Porsche. You don't know what it really is until you get one. but but working at that place and seeing, as you mentioned, you saw people coming in and you thought to yourself, in so many words, as the old saying goes, I put my pants on the same way they do.
Yes.
We don't deny them the talent that they have, but that doesn't limit you from the possibility of being able to get in position, the same position they're in. And I certainly applaud you for having the mindset to think, as I call it, thinking as if the box doesn't exist. Some people call it thinking outside the box. But I said, if you have to think outside the box, then there is somewhere you're thinking that there is a box, right? As opposed to thinking as if the box doesn't exist. So I definitely want to salute you on thinking about the possibilities of what you can accomplish.
I appreciate that.
No
And I
doubt.
couldn't imagine, I applaud you because 4 years, I could imagine staying on one job, dealing with the same, because it's all, I just couldn't imagine because you have to work to retire.
Yeah.
I could not imagine staying on a job for years.
Yeah.
Take me
That was that was when I was much younger. I mean, the last job I had, I think I had it for 2 years. But when I was much younger, I was working on a job for 4 years, and I was from 18, I think I was 18 to 22 years old. Now, being from Detroit, being from the hood, the mentality that we have is, how much money can I make an hour?
Yep.
Right? I started off at $8 an hour at 18 years old, and I want to say that was back in 91. $8 an hour at 18, I was getting paid, at least in my mind.
Right.
Then I got to raise up to $13 an hour. You could tell me that.
Yep. Oh, wait.
You couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was Kanye. I thought I had my money right.
I'm glad things have changed. I'm appreciative. I'm glad. I would never have thought those amount of digits can be in my bank account from real estate, from something that I've done, from something that I learned on YouTube. And I didn't go to school for it. Like, school is cool. Like, I ain't flexing on school. Get your education. But educate yourself too. Continue to educate yourself. Because we're adults. Like, we have to always be learning. Don't sit complacent and plateau, just tap out. Keep growing. Keep going. We got to.
So Cassiana is, this is somebody I always lean to when I need to get my mind right. She says that, I believe she's saying that your YouTube channel will be called Real Estate Sauce by Sean.
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna write that down, child.
Right. Y'all heard it here first. Real Estate Sauce by Sean.
That's my girl.
Tell us about what you accomplished in this YouTube University track of yours. It says here that you had your first deal from learning from YouTube. I won't give it the numbers away. I'm gonna let you tell them the numbers. But what was the profit on your first deal, and what was that like? What was the process? Can you share that with us?
So here's the thing. I'm very secretive about my money because I'm gonna take care of my family. And
I know that's right.
You gotta protect it, you understand? But
the
only reason
that's a Detroit mentality. We can't
you never know. Hey, I see you too.
Hey, look, watch me hustle, but you're not gonna watch me spend it.
No, we haven't, but it's straight.
Right.
But dang, you got me lost. What you at?
What was the profit on your first deal, if you don't mind sharing that? Like I said, I have the number, but I'm not gonna say it. I'll let you say it. And what was the process? What was that process like? From learning from YouTube and then actually pulling the trigger to getting you to the point of earning what you earned on your first deal.
Good question. All right, cool. So here's what it is. In my second course, in my Black History Month training class, I purchased a list. I purchased this list for $25 for 200. I'm gonna just say the fact. It was 250 properties in this. I gave him the zip code that I knew was popping. It was popping at this time. I gave him 30310. I gave him the zip code, and he pulled up high equity vacant absentee properties. That was the the filter on these houses.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did was I text these people because he was like, go ahead and call him, just call everybody. I'm like, because I don't know what to say. And then what if they ask me something I don't know? Like, Jesus Christ, I ain't come from no real estate background. I don't know nothing about no mortgage, no D's and liens and all that other.
Right.
I didn't back then, but
Right.
so I was just nervous to call these folks. So I said, I'm gonna just text them. If they respond, they respond. If they don't, I understand, From that list, I got two deals from that list. The first deal, I profited $38,000. So I found the house. I found the house out there in 30310. I text them. I sent out the text blast and asked them if they were interested in selling. He said yes. So I called him. I was so scared. And I set up an appointment. He ended up saying that he liked me better. He had just had another appointment with another wholesaler.
Mm-hmm.
I want to clarify that. Well, I'll get back to it. But
yeah, we definitely go get into that.
He had another appointment with another wholesaler, but he was like, I just like. My perspective was, I like your vibe. I'm a fool with you. You the one.
It is what it is. That's how it is a lot of times.
The relationship. And I'm not a relationship person. Like, that's just not how I get down. Like, just be in a relationship,
Right.
But that's how this lane flows. Like, you be pure. Don't be fake, because people could tell.
Right. Right.
But the relationships, just be genuine. He liked me. I'm like, oh my God, why? I don't know. But because I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't even know, because it's not like we're having conversations about the foundation. I'm going to look around, take pictures. That's it. That's really all I'm going to do. But I was just so scared. I had my panties all in a bunch, but I got out of it. So here's what it was, though. I locked up his contract. This was at the peak of COVID. COVID was just popping off. It was end of March.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. I locked him up, and then I couldn't find no buyer in that marketing class. He didn't teach me how to get the deal off. He just told me to lock it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jesus Christ. So what's next? I got the contract.
Yeah.
How the money? Where the money at? I got the contract. I said sell the contract. How?
Right.
I ended up figuring it out for real. I just posted in the groups. I posted in the groups that I had this property for sale, and I ended up JVing with a dude that had the buyer. So I found the seller, locked down the seller. He had the buyer, locked down the buyer, and we 50-50 JV split it. Did it 50-50 split. Now, what he did in the beginning, he asked me if I wanted to do a 70-30, and I should have went with that. But I wanted to build a relationship so we can keep doing deals together. But that 38,000, 70-30, that would have been more money. But, I settled for the 50-50 split because I knew we was going to do some more deals together. And we did. We still do deals together. He's the man on the buyer side. He's the dispo king. Like, he all that. So, I ended up profiting 38,000 on that deal. And from the next deal, the next deal was pretty penny also. Like, it was pretty cute.
So it was pretty cute, huh?
Like, I didn't even know it was possible. People out here, and it's legit. Like, I'm not doing nothing to be illegitimate. I can't do it. Like, I just can't do it. I can't go to jail. I can't go back to jail, because it's cold and it's dirty. Like, I can't go.
Right.
Seriously, though. But, yeah.
And again, I definitely want to salute you on, having gone through what you've gone through and still remaining positive and still, going after the things that are possible, so definitely, I applaud you and salute you for that as well. So that is $38,000. You made $38,000. You mentioned you learned the real estate, and then you learned about credit. What happened with your 507? Is that what it was? What was the 507?
501c3.
No. I'm talking about the credit score.
Oh, the 507 credit score. Oh, so that's why I tapped into the credit side, because I got mines up. I ain't hit 800 because you still got to do some other things. You still got to, it's tricks you got to do. It's so tricky. This whole life is a game. It's all trick.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting like my highest score on one of them was 780, 760, and like 7 something. But it was all about 780 basically in my eye. It was like a 780. So I did it for me, and I did it for a couple of my family members, my mom and them. You know what I mean? I had to get my mama straight.
Of
And
course, of course. I saw you bought Mama Caddy. I saw that, so.
well, it's not paid off. I want to clarify that. I don't want people to think I'm out here flexing. It's not paid off, but I put it in my name because it's cheaper. Because my credit was cute. It's better for it to be in my name as opposed to hers. Because if it's in her name, I haven't got her credit there yet. My credit was cute, so her note is cheaper.
Right.
So we do. It's all worked out, But yeah, I'm very thankful for that because it ain't like I feel like God is just empowering me to know that I can do this thing. Like I feel like I got an army behind me for real. Like I don't know about everybody's beliefs, and I ain't gonna push nothing on nobody, but that's what it is for me. Like we got to have a higher power.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
So what was the transition like? Somebody watching is probably thinking you had a 507. And did you call on the spirit of the credit gods to come down?
No. So for real, it's so I don't be liking when people say it's so simple. Like, shut up, don't say that. Like,
oh my goodness, believe me, I have these conversations all the time. I help people with their credit too. So
you do
absolutely.
Yeah, man. Of course, because it coincides. It just helps.
It does, and that was and as you mentioned, that was one of the primary reasons I got into the space is because many of the people that I started teaching in the real estate space, many of them didn't have the greatest credit. So when I started thinking of I did credit repair like back in 2002, 2003. It was one of the things that I did in between the time of me closing my first deal in 2003 here in Atlanta. So I started learning. Now, here's the crazy thing. I started learning all this stuff about credit and start fixing other people's credit. I never even touched my own. I know that's crazy. This is a long time ago. I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't know how to do mine. Let me do somebody else's.
Okay. I'm going to try it out.
Right, let me try it on them. So I had a lot of guinea pigs. But what you said was there is a process. And some people don't understand that there is a process to it. And if you don't understand not only the process, but many of the laws and the protections that are in place to help you change that situation, some people won't even start, or they'll say, I'll do it myself. And I know you were one of the people that actually did it yourself. So tell us, what were some of the processes that you had to go through? Or, as you say, it's a game. What was one of the major tricks, if you don't mind sharing, that you had to really overcome to be able to get yourself to the point where you are now?
Cool. All right. So here's what it is. All you got to do for real is call them people. Call the big three. Because first thing you got to do, what helped my score start me off, and things are changing now at this point. So, you got to be quick. You got to be quicker than that for real. Because things are changing. They're catching on and they're seeing that you guys are you know what you're talking about. You're reading.
Absolutely.
So here's what it is though. You call them and let them know that you pull up your credit score, number one. Firstly, you review your score. You see that you have multiple different names. You only have one name. Your name shouldn't be misspelled. Remove all the names. You only need one name, one number, one job, one address. All the other addresses, I've been at this one address for 10 years. All the other ones, this is the only place I've been living in my whole life. Delete them. These, I don't have any proof of me ever being at any of these other addresses. We ain't lying, but it's a fact. You don't. They don't have the proof because it's old. So remove them. They need to be off because I didn't approve it. We have rights and we have laws. When we read it, we can put them in our papers, our dispute letters, and ship them off to all of those big threes. Sometimes they'll fight back, but you be consistent. Don't be lackadaisical. Go heavy. Get it off. It's not hard. It is kind of hard, but just be consistent. Just be consistent.
With consistency, it becomes even more simpler. As you mentioned. Yes. And I want people to get what you said though. The major thing about the multiple addresses and the multiple names and the multiple phone numbers and jobs and all those things. What folks don't really understand is how those things, even in what appears to be their simplicity, if corrected, can change a lot of the situation with their credit.
So here's the thing. I'll just be honest with you because y'all can't judge me. And even if you do, you're not God.
Right.
So here's what it is. Listen, I had an apartment on my credit. It was in my name, but my name, they had two N's in my name. That ain't my name.
Right.
So the situation was we stopped paying the rent. We moved out, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, we moved out, and it was on my record and like an eviction or whatever. That I called them, let them know my name is not Lashana. My name is not Lashana Baker. My name is Lashawn. Like, it's got to be deleted because I don't know what you guys are doing over there.
Right.
This is all false. I'm feeling like you guys are trying to, what's going on?
Right.
Move it. And it was removed. That eviction came off my credit just for me saying my name ain't Lashana. And it boosted me up 30 points. 30 points. And I ain't lying. I ain't gonna lie. I don't lie.
Well, let me verify that with you. Like, let me verify that. Not verifying what you said, but just confirming to people that'll watch this.
Yeah.
How that is a major situation where people don't understand how simple that is. They like, well, did you tell them it wasn't yours? No, you don't even have to do all that. Because what people must understand is that the information that's reported on your credit report has to report 100% accurately. And if they have two N's or A or whatever it is additionally than what your actual name is, they can't report that information because it's incorrect.
It's
Whether
wrong.
you have it, whether it's yours or not.
Mm-hmm. And that's the law.
That's the law.
That's what it say in black and white. It say that. That's what it say for everybody else. That's what it say for us. So get it off. We need it off.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Listen, that's a jewel in and of itself that hopefully people will catch on to what you're saying and realize. And as a matter of fact, just calling in many cases can help you get a lot of those things removed.
Mm-hmm.
That will then start the trickle down effect of having a lot of the other things come off, because you don't know how many other things that are on your credit that are associated with that misspelling of your name.
Just be consistent. Be consistent. Just the easiest way to start, just download that basic little app, the Credit Karma. All of those little marks, all the reds need to be green. That's it. You know, start there. Like,
can't simplify it more than that. When you see red, change it to green. That's it.
Yes, that's it.
Real stuff. So, so you talked about being a serial entrepreneur and a real estate connector. What is a real estate connector? What do you do as a real estate connector?
So I have this group. So after I got my first contract, I invested in this course, and my mentor advised me to start a group. And so I started this group. It were called Atlanta. Oh my God, that's my daddy. That's my pop. My pop. He advised me to start this group. So I started this group. It's called Atlanta Joint Venture. I'm so plugged in with, I know a lot of wholesalers, and I'm plugged in with cash buyers, people that actually buy. And I'm building up more and more connections with my hedge funds, people that really got money, not just making videos, people that are really not, no disrespect to nobody that ain't really doing it. If you're doing the courses, do you think? Whatever. But yeah, I got sidetracked. Sorry.
So we'll make the question twofold, because you were leading down a couple of different paths, and I want to, you can actually fill the blank in for both of them. What makes you a real estate connector? What do you do as a real estate connector? And then we'll talk about what's a wholesaler versus an investor.
Okay, so I'm a connector because I connect my wholesaling community and investor friends with my cash buyer friends and my actual deal closers. Connect them. Whether I make a connector fee, it's not even really about the fee. It's really about building up this community so everybody can pass through and make some money together. That's really my whole intention. What I'm working towards is for my nonprofit, that on my nonprofit side, is obtaining some land so I can build a micro community. That's really what I'm working towards. So when I have this real estate community here, that's fine. I'm gonna have the homeless community over there, and I'm gonna have, like, it's all gonna mend together, and we're all gonna make money together, and it's gonna work out how it needs to be worked out. So I'm a connector because I connect folks. I just make it just meshes and it works how it needs to work. On top of me, having deals and being an investor and being the middleman. So now I want to
Or
clarify.
middle woman.
Say that again.
Or middle woman.
Middle woman, yeah. So I wanted to clarify this because I have a partner, and so I want to clarify the wholesaler versus investor. Wholesaling is just one lane on the real estate side. It's just one tool. It's like having just a hammer instead of, you got a hammer, you got a screwdriver. I don't know all the names of the tools, but you got plenty of tools, you know?
Right.
But now in real estate, though, us as investors, that's like the whole umbrella. If you clarify yourself as just being a wholesaler, I mean, all you're doing is just assigning deals. It's how other people look at it. It's like the bottom of the barrel, because all you're doing is assigning deals. You ain't even doing real deals. You're just talking to people and getting it off. You
Mm-hmm.
be an investor. To me, this is my perspective. Don't nobody get offended. To be an investor, like, we can do all that. We can assign a deal. We can be a wholesaler. We can do sub two, taking over deals creatively. We can take over deals, do seller financing deal, do novation deals. We can do executory contracts. There's so many other things we can do. We just want to make sure that we're educating ourselves and not getting stuck in a box and just being a little bitty old wholesaler because we want to get this quick little check. What I think is best for us to do is just make sure that we keep educating ourselves. Yes, wholesaling is fine. I ain't capping on wholesaling. I like wholesaling. I'm all for wholesaling. That's all I've been doing is wholesaling.
Mm-hmm.
It's cute because we make money doing it, but we shouldn't limit ourselves and just, yeah, I'm a wholesaler. When I talk to anybody like face to face and they tell me they're a wholesaler, I don't try to downplay them, diminish them, but I just speak my perspective and let them know, like, you can do more than just assign deals. Even if you haven't, like, start learning, because what I did learn, like, life it's a history, like, it keeps repeating itself. And if you're doing enough research, they're trying to say that wholesaling ain't legit. Like, you can't be a wholesaler. I'm not saying like you need to get your license. I'm never gonna get my license. Number one, because I got this little thing in my record. I don't know if it's going in or not, but that's just not the lane I want to go down. I don't want to be limited to having to just do Atlanta. I want to be all over.
Real talk. Real talk. Mm-hmm.
So we just shouldn't limit ourselves.
So I had this post, and I must have said it somewhere, but my social media person reposted it the other day. I was like, man, it's kind of deep. I said that because people have there is a stigma around wholesaling, right? Because you have some wholesalers that do some unscrupulous things, and they get down and dirty about some of the things that they do. But I was having a conversation with someone, and they said, "Well, you don't wholesale," and I said, "Well, I'm a real estate investor. I buy houses." So the process to wholesaling is very similar to actually buying houses. Like, I buy houses, and I may not wholesale much because some of the things that I find, if I were looking as if I was a wholesaler, like marketing to people with text messaging and phone calls and all those things, because I do all of those things, I may not pass those on to anyone else because I want to buy them myself.
Right.
So in that respect, no, I'm not wholesaling. I'm buying.
Mm-hmm.
But if there was a deal that I came across, I may pass on to someone else, which means that I use a wholesale strategy. But I'm not limited, as you mentioned, to just being a wholesaler. I don't identify as a wholesaler. I guess that's what we use the words nowadays. I don't identify as a wholesaler. I identify as a real estate investor who happens to use wholesaling as a strategy from time to time.
Right.
People get the two mixed up, right? Now, some people say that if you're just a wholesaler, you're not really a real estate investor. And in some areas, it depends. And I say, nobody knows what's inside somebody's head. But I always say it depends on the intention, right? The intention and what's behind what you're looking at doing with a property once you get it under contract.
Yeah.
Most people, they have the intention of wholesaling every single thing. But if you have the intention of actually investing in it, then you're an investor. If your intention is simply to wholesale it, then you're a wholesaler.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I define it. If there's a way to minimize the definition of what a wholesaler does.
And that's okay. And what I think we're kind of dabbling into is like wholesalers versus investors versus agents. And it ain't none of that. We all together. We for real. We can
As
all be united.
John says, everybody eats.
Yeah, that's my guy. I like that. Everybody eats for real.
Right,
Yeah.
right. No matter what lane you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me this: how important is it to have a mentor? I know you learned a lot of what you learned from YouTube. How do you have a mentor, and how has having a mentor changed the way you do what you do?
So after my big check, I never had that much money in my account. So first of all, just to clarify, it was 50-50 split. So I got like 16, 17. At that point, I had some money. It was about that amount, 16, 17-ish, or whatever. So then after I got that check, I invested in this course. This course was $10,000. I've never spent that amount of money on that. But I know, like, I feel like if I give it my all, there is no telling, because there is no way I'm gonna waste $10,000.
Absolutely.
I'm not even gonna waste $10. If I bought this little burger and it was $10, I'm gonna eat the whole thing, even if it's nasty. That's just me. I'm for real.
That sound like me too.
I'm not even capping, for real. That's the lamb.
That sound like me too. Hey, I spent my money on it. It's got to go down.
And this was at the top of COVID. I got that course, and I'm still heavily in the course. I probably don't. I'm learning every day, because we gotta educate ourselves. But it's so important to connect with somebody that, like, one-on-one, like face to face, not Zoom. Zooms is cool. That's fine. I ain't capping on Zooms. But for real, like, to be in the trenches with someone and really have the hands-on in the experience, so you can know there's no fluff. I think that's so good, because like somebody like me, I ain't come from the background. I don't know the difference. I didn't know the difference between a mortgage and a deed of trust, or whatever it is. I didn't know how the roof is supposed to look. I know how to do the calculations and all of that now, but these things they come with time.
So would you say, and this is where the rubber meets the road, and the lines get blurred a lot of times. Now, would you say in investing that $10,000, right? How long ago? You say it was right in the middle of COVID, so that was about a year ago. Okay, 2 years ago. So would you say in that time, that investment that you made, you spent the money? So some people would say it cost $10,000, right? Would you say in the information that you've learned that you have access to for your lifetime, would you say there's a value of $10,000 there?
For sure. I would say, yeah. I would drop the name too, but there's no affiliate marketing. And that's another thing I learned. Affiliate marketing is so important. Like,
it is. It certainly is. On that questionnaire, do you have a product or service that you're marketing? Real talk. Yeah, we get down with the affiliate marketing, right? But and I want people to get this, right? Because you said something that I want to make sure people are able to bridge the gap. You said you invested $10,000, right? You have the one-on-one mentor that you're able to, interact with. But you said something that was very important. Before, you didn't know the numbers, but now you know the numbers, right? I believe, and this is me personally, and I'll ask you what you think as well. I believe knowing the numbers is 70% of the battle of doing real estate. And that's any numbers: what to buy, what you should pay for it, what it'll be worth when you're done with it, what it's going to cost to fix it, the numbers of, how much you should make on it, and all these types of things. In that arena of numbers, I believe that information, learning that, is invaluable. So an investment of $10,000 is, in essence, if you measure it, a drop in the bucket based on what you can actually do with that information over your lifetime. What's your thoughts on that?
I am in total agreement with you. I want to make sure that I state this. Knowing the numbers is so very important. I got those 2 deals, but I didn't really start picking up gear for real until I knew my numbers. So the numbers that I'm referring to, it's really important to do reverse engineering. That's what it's technically called from the folks.
Mm-hmm.
Reverse engineering is starting from the end and working your way back up to the top.
Absolutely.
So the end is the money. Where the money at? You want to know
Right.
where the money is, so you can go out and see which of these houses fit in that money category, and then you could talk to that seller and according to them 4Ds and see if they popping and see if they hitting on that, so you can lock it up. I hope that made sense. But we're starting from the end, reverse engineering, so we can see. We converse with our buyers. That's number one. Converse with buyers, build relationships with our buyers so we can see how much money they have, so that when we converse with our sellers, we know how much money is on the table. Like I don't have conversations with homeowners if I don't know that I can buy this house. Like, because me, I don't have it. Yeah, I can get you under contract. I can get anybody under contract. I could anybody today, right now, it's nothing. Because
Mm-hmm.
tell them I can get your house for exactly what you want. You could my little anybody can do that. My little
Mm-hmm.
she's 3. She can pull out a contract real quick. It's nothing. But
Yeah.
we just want to make sure that we converse with with our buyers, know the end game, how much money they got, so we can lock down this house and make a profit. We don't have time to waste.
You said another thing very important. You said another thing that's very important. You said that you can get anybody under contract, but you begin, as is always often understood, you begin with the end in mind.
Mm-hmm.
What is your buyer looking for? What is the buy box that you can get them into, right? And this is where the intention comes in. This is where I talk about intention. Most people that learn wholesaling, unfortunately, that when they don't learn it from good sources, they'll start with the idea of, let me just go and get a property under contract and then I'll sell that contract.
No.
Right. Right, exactly. And they'll just say, the buyer wants 200,000. They go, okay, I got a contract for 200,000, but the house is only worth 195.
If that.
Right. So they never had really any, if they don't know the numbers, they never had really any intention of actually investing in that property, one, or B, making it possible or plausible for an investor to invest into it on the backside. They're
No.
just getting some paperwork and hoping for the best.
Like, how is anybody going to make the money? Because it's all about the money. Where's the money going to come in? I don't understand. Because we didn't know.
Right.
Video said, get the house, no money down. I got the house, no money down. No.
Right.
That ain't it, man. No.
I guess that's where the no money, no credit line ends. Yeah, you can get a piece of paper and get it filled out with no money, no credit.
Gotta make sense. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Real stuff, real stuff. Hey, listen, we're coming up on that time, but I got a couple more questions if you don't mind. I know you got to roll, but I got a couple more questions I want to ask.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you would tell folks to avoid in doing deals?
What did I say? Now, to avoid doing deals? Okay. So one thing that I learned, so I was doing this deal and I learned after I went back to do my due diligence to see if the house was purchased. I'm doing my follow-ups or whatever. I'm doing my follow-ups to see if the house had been purchased. And I saw that it was purchased, and it was purchased by someone that I knew. Which is, somebody that I knew. And then, so what I learned was to protect myself. Protect myself if I'm going to be investing time in these houses. This house, I actually had an open house. I had like I spent some money on my marketing for this house. Like all of the houses I don't spend money on. I just blast them on Facebook and hope and pray. This was before I built up my buyers list, you know.
Right.
But yeah, no, you just got to make sure that you are strategic for real. You just got to be saucy.
Okay. Okay. You said part of it said don't be thirsty.
Yeah, don't be thirsty. Don't be thirsty.
So tell me, what is the hardest part and the best part of your experience in being in real estate investing?
Oh wait, sorry. So what to avoid? Avoid doing deals, or how to make sure that you have your house locked down. What I learned is to file a memorandum of a contract. So once you have the house locked down, you go down to the courthouse and you file your memorandum. It's only $20, $25. File the memorandum. What this does is this protects you, and it also protects the seller, but it allows them to not be able to sell this house without you getting, being notified, making sure that you didn't just waste your time. So go down there, file with the county the memorandum, because we're not wasting our time. Once you have this house locked down and you've invested in your marketing, file it. Like I would suggest filing it. I'm filing it on every one of my properties that I invest my time into, because you're not going to be able to sell this house if you don't notify me, because I made you the best deal. I thought it was the best deal. If it's not, we can converse about it, but it's not fair for you to go behind my back. So we have ways to protect ourselves.
Absolutely.
We're not going to be shammed upon. I'm sorry, I just wanted to clarify that. And then now, what was that?
That's a very good point though, because that's one of the areas that people would miss. And it can be costly if you put a lot of time into it and don't protect yourself.
Yes.
What we call clouding the title. So yeah, that's very important that you shared that.
Do you cloud your titles?
I don't personally do every single one, but when I stand to make a significant amount of money, or when I stand to, when I disclose to the sellers what I'm doing, and I disclose to my buyers what I'm doing, as far as how much money I intend to make, so that there is no issue when it happens, because it's going to happen. Many people will have an issue with how much money you make.
Yeah.
So to protect myself and to protect them, because some people talk themselves out of even a good opportunity just based on them counting somebody else's pocket.
Yes.
So I protect myself and protect them. So in cases, it depends. Like sometimes it depends. I haven't done one in quite some time where I had to do that, because the rapport with my buyers and the rapport with the seller has been on point. So
yes, that rapport with the seller, it matters. Of course, you want to open up the floodgates, like let them know, like, of course you get exactly what you want, and I'm gonna get paid on the back end. Don't worry about me. Ain't no agent fees or commissions. We said that you're gonna get what you want. I'm gonna get paid too, because I'm doing exactly what you want me to do.
Absolutely.
Like, let me get paid.
Right. Yeah. And oftentimes, understanding their level of motivation and what their situation is, and truly, as you said earlier, providing a solution for them.
Yes.
They're less likely to. Now, some people. I mean, people are people. So they might switch up on you, because people change when they see them dollars coming.
Yeah.
But building a rapport and truly providing a solution for a situation that they may be, hoping to get out of, it's less likely that they'll have any issues with what you're doing.
That matters. That rapport.
Yeah. So tell us, what is the best part, and what are some of the hardest parts of your experience in doing real estate investing?
The best part to me, of course, making the money. I like making money. I'm gonna just put it out there. I like it. I like it so much.
Right.
Besides the money and not having to work for somebody else and create my own time schedule and be able to come and go when I want to go, and take my grandma wherever she want to go, whenever she want to go there. I like that a lot. Besides that, though, I am in the I'm building up this wealth for my family, because when I die, I ain't got no kids yet, or whatever, however it happened. But I'm building up this legacy so that this family, like I'm very blessed to be with this family. Yeah, I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed with all of this situation. So I'm gonna just say, so I'm adopted. God placed me with this family, and it just fits. It fits perfectly. Me being where I am, you know what I mean. So whatever He need me to be doing, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and I'm gonna be stacking up this money and creating this wealth. However He need me to do it. And my extras, I'm gonna be passing it on. However He need me to pass on the extras, and whoever He allows me to connect with, I just pray we can get some money together.
Wow, real stuff, real stuff. So what's the hardest part of
Hardest
doing
part,
the
what I don't, the hardest part I would say is shutting down those inner voices to tell you that you can't do it, or you're not smart enough, or you don't even have the knowledge, you don't even have the resources. Shutting those voices down and just going for it, just going after it, and just that'd be the hardest part. Like waking up and motivating yourself.
Mm,
I'm so motivated though. Like I'm lit with it for real at this stage in my life. But that I went through a phase where I got depressed because deals weren't coming in. It's like, where the money at?
right.
Where's the money? But when you get back focused and get back to educating yourself, like it's coming in. It's
Real
coming,
talk.
you know. So
Great stuff. Great stuff. All right. Well, listen. It's so much more to talk about. But I'm getting the light blinking saying that we got to wrap it up. But what I want to do is give you an opportunity to share with the folks how to get in contact with you. And is there something that you'd like to say in parting to share with the folks before we leave?
all right. So I would say definitely follow me on social media, Miss Lashawn.Nicole. I'm a vessel, like use me. I'm a resource at this point. I don't have any courses or anything to sell you guys. I am in my free phase. Y'all had better catch on. Why where we at? Um, but yeah, I'm totally a resource and willing and able to see what what's on the table. So follow me at Miss Lashawn Nicole on Instagram and on Facebook. It's Lashawn Nicole.
Okay. And that's Lashawn.
Yes,
Okay.
and Nicole traditional spelling.
Got it. Got it.
Thank you
Got it.
for having me on here, brother. Like this was a vibe. My heart's beating. I'm probably my hands still sweaty. You understand? But thank you for this opportunity. I hope that somebody was able to pull some from what I said and make some money. I hope you get some money and
you
shop
know,
me out if you do.
definitely, definitely. The lesson that I learned in doing this, I started doing this a long time ago. And I started doing it because I wanted to showcase some of the things that some of the investors in our local area were doing.
Mhm.
But then the feedback is what helped me continue to do this. The feedback of getting responses from at times maybe one person that saw this show, two people that saw this show, and getting that feedback from them saying that the information that I shared or the guest shared with them was something that changed the way they see how they can do things.
Mhm.
So listen, you being on the show is truly a blessing, and now we have ways to share it with so many different people at the same time and share it across multiple platforms. So it may be 6 months, it may be a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 10 years, but there will be somebody that will hear this message that you shared on today that will truly change their life. And again, that's why I continue to do this. I don't make no money from doing this. I could be doing a million other things besides doing this. But as I've been told, this is one of the callings that I have, is to be able to share with people not just my knowledge and experience, because I'm crazy. I do stuff and people might think I'm crazy. Oh, you fix credit and you do this and you fix flip houses. Yeah, I mean, but I want people to know that I'm not the only crazy person that does what I do.
Right. I
There's
see
other people just as
exposure.
crazy as I am. So if these people go crazy as I am, y'all could be as crazy as we are. So again, thank you, my sister. I appreciate you. Continue doing what you're doing. Especially with the philanthropy and being a blessing. And as you mentioned, being a vessel. That's something that I oftentimes believe that we don't realize how valuable we are to other people. Now, of course, we know that we have some value and we bring value to the marketplace in terms of what we have to offer in terms of information. But there's going to be somebody that will watch this that'll never talk to you or me, and it will change their life, right? So that's why, like the content creation, yeah, it's good for marketing and all that and getting people's eyes on you. But there's going to be somebody somewhere that will see these messages that we share, and even watching what you do, because you do your own thing outside of this, of course. You share videos and information, and I watch you. I never told you I watch you, but some of the absolutely, absolutely. That's one of the other reasons why you made it on here. No, but seriously, I watch you, and and I've seen you grow in this business, and I've seen how you move. And it's inspirational. I mean, it's inspirational for me, and I've been doing real estate for some time, but I'm in a place where I know that I can learn from anybody. I don't care how long you've been doing it. There are no big eyes or little U's or anything, because I appreciate the things that you do, right? I mean, I seen you buy your mom a car, whether it's paid off or not. I mean, you did that. You did that for your mom. How many people can say that that's something they actually accomplished, right? And I don't know how old you are. It don't matter. I think you're young.
Thank you.
To be able to do that for your mom it speaks volumes of your character. It speaks volumes of what you're, in terms of philanthropy, of what you're willing to share to be able to show somebody that it's possible for them. So again, I salute you. And you didn't let adversity and the things that you've been challenged with, in terms of, what you said you've been through and getting a felony and all that, that didn't stop you. You didn't allow that to limit you from being able to do the things that you want to do. And congratulations on getting fired.
Thank you. Okay.
Some people say, "What do you say?" Yeah, I always tell people, "Congratulations on you losing your job."
Thank you. And I appreciate it.
Because you're not limited to that cubicle, and there's so many other people in the world that you can help now because you're not limited to that cubicle. So thank you. You inspire me. Continue to inspire others, and continue to believe as if the box doesn't exist, because there is no box for us. We got to get it.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. You are the man. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And lastly, I want to invite everybody. So this is my 7-year anniversary. Sunday at 3:00, we are celebrating at Woodruff Park, right there downtown at the Underground. I'm serving the community, passing out so much good stuff, really good stuff. Barbecuing, music. Come out there, party with us, and spread some love with us. If not, just say a prayer. Shoot up some good vibes. Whatever is your level, shoot. Just do your thing for us.
Great stuff. That's Woodruff Park, downtown Atlanta?
Yes, sir. Peachtree Street.
Okay, good. And we'll make sure that, because we're going to continue to share this information, we'll make sure we spread the word about that as well. Is there anything else that you got going on that you want to share with the folks to make sure they tap in?
I'll be having a Zoom introducing folks or explaining government contracting on November 1st. Just message me for the specifics. I'll send you the Zoom link. I'll just spread a little information, how you can make some money. I got a few awards, so I'll show you how to get some.
Okay. And share that information. Inbox me that, and I'll, send it to my list of people, and, we'll try and fill it up.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you for the opportunity again.
Listen, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. I thank you for finally agreeing to come on.
It wasn't so bad,
It wasn't. I know you said you were nervous, but hey, listen, you did a great job. And like I told you in the beginning, it's just going to be us having a conversation, and just a few people happen to be watching. That's all.
That's it.
But thank you again, sister. I appreciate you. Keep doing what you do. Keep shining your light, and keep being a blessing and a vessel to those that are watching you, even when you don't know it.
Thank you, brother.
All right, folks, that's been our show. This has been the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show, where we talk about real life real estate situations and real life situations, but we bring you real life real estate solutions. Thank you for watching, and look forward to seeing you real soon. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. Talk to you later.